Alright, welcome back to the Vloggy once again. Today is February 3rd, 2012. I don't really have a whole lot to update on today. I worked last night, so I just got up out of bed, and it's, 3 something in the afternoon, which is still kind of early for me to get up. But it is my day off, and my wife is on her way home with the little one. They were out and about, seeing the in-laws, my in-laws, that is. And yeah, we're gonna go bowling tonight with some friends, so we're gonna do that. But I really don't have too much to update about. One thing I have been thinking about a lot lately is that I need to finish the first draft of my second novel. I've been working on it here and there. I started it in November for NaNoWriMo. Last year I wrote the first draft of my first book, which is still in revisions because I've been working on my second novel that I started this last November for NaNoWriMo. So I'm trying to finish this one before I go back and start really revising my first one, because I want to finish it. Otherwise I'll have, like 80-some pages of a novel that's just sitting there, and if I go back later on, then I may never go back and finish it. And even if I do try to, then I'm going to have to pretty much read the entire story again to familiarize myself with it once again. And I don't want to have to do that. I'd like to just get it all out there and then go back. But it's been killing me. I've been wanting to go back and work on editing my first novel. Yeah, so that's mainly what's been going on in my head. And I need some ideas for good books to read. I have a couple on my shelf that I haven't read yet, but I'm always looking for good books to read. And I read things like, oh boy, well, I do read memoirs. Depends on what it's about. There's one right up there beside the blue one. That one right there says, "You Don't Look Like Anyone I Know." It's by, who is it, Helen Snow, somebody. It is, I can't even, Heather Sellers, yeah. Heather Sellers wrote that one. It's about prosopagnosia, or face blindness. And it was really interesting. A really interesting, very rare disorder where you can't recognize reliably human faces. That part of your brain just does not work. So it's like you see somebody, and then you know who they are, and then you could see them 5 minutes later, and you don't recognize their face. Sometimes I think I have that because I'll get a report at work, and then I'll go and I'll do something, and I'll come back even a couple minutes later looking for the person that I got a report from, and I don't remember who I got report from, even though I spoke to them for 15 to 20 minutes. Or I just have a really, really bad memory. Could just be that. Alright, so those are the main things. Give me some book suggestions in the comments below. I just finished reading John Green's book, The Fault in Our Stars. I've read An Abundance of Catherines, Looking for Alaska, and Paper Towns of his also. Those are young adult novels. First ones I've ever read, really. But I like John Grisham. I've read a lot of his books. I'd like to expand myself a little bit. I have some Mary Higgins Clark books. I've read the first Harry Potter book, and that's about it. I have the entire series. What else do I have that I've read? Sue Grafton. I've read some of hers. Those are the main ones. Other than that, I read a lot of reference books about writing, but they're not really stories, so I'd like to read some stories and kind of see how they have constructed their whole plot and everything like that. I've read a lot of books about it already, but I like to see it in action too, and I kind of learn by example. So give me some suggestions below, or if there's just some really interesting topic, a non-fiction book that you have read or that you have heard about, then let me know. I'll check that out and I'll think about buying it and maybe read it, and then if I do, I will give you my thoughts on it once I finish reading it. Alright, so I'm going to let you go for now. We're going to go bowling, have some fun here in just a little bit. So I will talk to you all probably tomorrow. I work tomorrow night, but I'll try to slip something in there before I go to bed, which will be before noon. Alright, so I will talk to you all then. Goodbye.